Hello yogis, and welcome to today's calming yoga practice. For anyone who's new here, I'm Sarah and I'll be your guide for this gentle Hatha sequence. Together we'll ease any stress or tension from the body and mind, leaving us feeling more balanced and centered, better able to fully relax and let go. We'll begin today's practice sitting towards the back of our mat, sitting in hero pose, sitting nice and tall, resting our hands down onto our knees, drop our shoulders heavy and close off the eyes. We'll begin to bring ourselves into our body, bring ourselves into the present. Begin to notice your breath. If it's available to you, we'll inhale through the nose and we'll exhale through the nose for our practice today. It's known to be a more calming form of breath. Slowing the inhale and lengthen the exhale. On your next exhale, we're going to flow through a few seated cat-cows. So on an exhale, we'll begin to round through the spine as you drop the gaze. Arms extend long. Shoulders dropping in towards each other. On your next inhale, we'll begin to puff our chest forward as we look up towards the sky. Shoulders draw down away from the ears. Opening up into cow pose. And on an exhale, begin to round through the spine, drop the gaze, tuck the tailbone under as you roll into cat. Inhale, open up into cow, looking up, open the chest forward, lovely heart opener. And exhale, round through the spine and drop the gaze. Inhale, open the chest forward, looking up, shoulders down away from the ears. And exhale, we'll come back to center. We'll extend our arms out long. Begin to release your chest down onto the knees as you relax the forehead down onto the mat, coming into child's pose. Allow the hips to be heavy towards the heels. Not to worry if the hips come nowhere near the heels. Just allow the body to relax and release. Making our pose a little bit more active. Press down into the mat and begin to lift the forearms away from the mat. Keeping the head rested down onto the ground, we begin to lengthen through the spine. Lengthen through the sides of the body as our tailbone reaches back and our arms reach forward, finding more space through the body. We'll begin to look up towards the hands. As we come up to sitting on our heels, we draw our fingers back behind us. On your next inhale, we'll begin to reach the right arm up and overhead as we pick up the hips, pressing the hips forward. Opening up through the chest. Lovely heart opener. On an exhale, we begin to send the hips towards the heels, sweep the right arm back. We'll begin to pick up the left arm, reach it up and overhead as you lift the hips away from the heels. Press the hips forward, open through your heart center, drop your head back. Exhale, drop the hips towards the heels, take it to the other side. Sweep the right arm up and overhead as you lift the hips high away from the heels. And exhale, gently release the hips to the heels. Take it to the next side once again. Swing the left arm up and overhead, picking up the hips, opening through the front of the body, creating lots of space for the breath to flow. And we'll swing the left arm back down. Inhale over to the right side. Reaching up, looking up. And exhale, drop the hips back down once again over to the next side. Pick up the hips, drop the arm back behind you, creating lots of space through the front of the body. And we'll gently release, drop the hips down towards the heels, and we'll bring the hands out in front of us. Gently making your way into tabletop, we're going to make our way into a puppy pose from here. So we want to keep our knees in line under our hips. As we begin to walk the arms forward, we drop down onto our chin and chest, sliding forward into puppy pose. We keep our hips stacked over our knees and stretch the arms forward, creating a nice long spine, creating more space down through each vertebrae. Remember to breathe. Inhale and exhale. We'll gently come out of the pose by shifting our hips forward as we make our way down into Sphinx. So we'll take a moment to check our alignment, making sure our elbows are in line under our shoulders, and take a moment to notice your lower back. If you feel any sharp pains in the lower back, you can walk the legs a little bit wider apart. If you're feeling okay, you can bring the feet closer together. Palms plant down onto the mat, shoulders roll down away from the ears, and begin to soften the lower back muscles. Begin to drop the head heavy, looking down towards the mat or closing off the eyes. And return to your breath. Finding that nice calming breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and follow the breath as it leaves the body on the exhale. We'll begin to bring the head back to center, looking forward. We'll take a bit of a twist from here. We'll point our left fingers over towards the right corner of the mat. Begin to look back towards the right foot. As we bend into the knee, we pick up the right foot. Maybe you can bring the right hand back to take hold of the right foot, or just stay with the right arm pointing towards that leg. Maybe you can take hold of the foot and flip the grip, so the fingers are pointing towards the toes. And if you're okay here, begin to look over the right shoulder. This can be quite intense in the lower back, so remember to check in with your body. Notice how you're feeling. Back off if you need to, and see if you can find some softness. Finding ease through the body. Finding ease through the breath. Maybe close the eyes. And we'll gently and softly release. Coming back to center, back into Sphinx pose. We'll take a moment here just to notice the right side of the body from the left. Notice any change through the body. Any shift in the mind, in the thoughts. Just notice what you notice. Now we'll take our twist on the next side. We'll point our right fingers over towards the left corner of the mat. We'll pick up our left leg begin to twist and look over to the left. Maybe you can take hold of the back foot. Maybe you can flip your grip and begin to draw your heel towards your glutes, looking over the left shoulder. And wherever you are, close the eyes and begin to settle in. See if there's anywhere you can soften. Maybe the shoulders, maybe the muscles in the face. Soften through the breath and we'll gently release. We'll bring ourselves back to center, back into Sphinx pose. And we'll take a few moments once again just to notice any shift, any change. Noticing as we hold these poses for a few moments that the body begins to release and unwind. You can find more softness. And from here, we're going to make our way into seal pose. Also option to stay in Sphinx, or if you want to take it deeper, if you feel you have enough space, we'll begin to lift the forearms away from the mat. So we're pressing down into our hands. We're still looking forward, shoulders down away from the ears. If this feels at all too intense in the lower back, just drop back down into Sphinx pose. And wherever you are, begin to release and relax. If you feel you want to take it deeper, you can begin to lift the toes to point up towards the sky, bending into the knees. This is quite intense, so only take this pose if you feel you have that openness. Stay with your breath. Remember to breathe. And remember to smile here. Maybe just an internal smile. Soften the muscles in your face, in your forehead. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. And we'll gently begin to release. Come back down into Sphinx pose if you're not already there. And from here, we're going to begin to come down out of our pose by making a pillow out of our hands, rest one on top of the other. And as slowly as you can, walk your elbows wide and rest your forehead down onto the hands. Your lower back might feel a little bit tense, a little bit tight. So rest in stillness to let go. Allow the lower back to reset and unwind. Maybe wiggle the hips left to right, just to get rid of that last bit of tension, last bit of stress. And we'll gently look up towards the top of our mat. We'll tuck our toes under and press ourselves back into a child's pose. But we want to keep our toes tucked. As our hips rest towards the heels, we stretch our arms out long. Maybe resting your forehead down onto the mat if it feels comfortable for your neck. And stretching the muscles through the lower back. And then we'll untuck the toes and rest down into normal child's pose. Find a few moments of stillness, a few moments of quiet down through the body. Letting go of any expectations. Expectations for this class, or or for your day ahead. And we'll begin to look towards the hands. Gently pick the hips away from the heels, and we'll sit back between the legs. We're going to make our way down onto our backs, however you can get there. Nice and gently coming down onto our backs. We'll bring our knees one by one in towards our belly. Draw the knees in. And gently rock the knees side to side, massaging out the lower back and the lower spine. We'll begin to extend the left leg long on the mat while we keep hold of the right knee. We'll take a twist from here. Bring your right arm into cactus, bending at the elbow, palm face to the sky, and we'll begin to draw the right knee across the body, resting down over to the left, twisting and looking over to the right. You can shift the hips if you need to here, making sure you're nice and comfortable in your spinal twist. And once you're there, begin to soften and relax. Soften through the legs. Soften through the hips. Allowing the muscles in your belly to relax. And the muscles in your lower back to release and unwind. And we'll bring our head back to center, nice and softly, and we'll draw our right knee back in towards our belly. Taking hold of the left knee as well, draw the knees together. Rock side to side. Notice the right side of the body from the left. And then when you're ready, we'll swap sides. We'll extend our right leg long this time, keeping hold of the left knee. We'll begin to draw the left knee across the body as we bring our left arm into cactus. Shift your hips if you need to, and bring your gaze to look over to the left. And once again, begin to let go. Letting go of the chest, allowing the back to melt into the mat as the shoulders relax and hang heavy. Allow the head to be heavy. Soften the muscles in the forehead and allow your eyes to be heavy in their sockets. And soften through your jaw. And we'll gently bring our left knee back to center. Take hold of the left knee and draw the right knee into the belly as well. Drawing both knees in. Rock side to side. Maybe wrapping your arms around the legs. Take hold of opposite elbows. From here, begin to draw your nose up towards your knees, getting a nice stretch through the spine. And gently begin to release the head down towards the mat. We'll begin to softly release and unwind our body as we make our way into our final pose, into Savasana. We extend our legs long on the mat, taking up as much space as you need to. Allow the arms to extend alongside the body, palms face the sky, and completely relax in stillness. Let any last bit of effort release through the body. Relax every muscle. and thank you very much for joining me for our class today. I do hope to see you again soon on the mat. Namaste.